Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday night watch chat on the Bobby Legs Loves Watches YouTube channel. And yeah, Wednesday. Hey, look, this is a great time of year. I really love September, especially because I feel like September you still, you get the warmth of the summer, right? Which I'm not necessarily a big fan of, but it's winding down and you're getting cooler nights, right? And then at the end of September, the weather just is almost getting perfect, right? Because I love the fall, I love the winter, but I love the fall as well. I love the days in the low 70s and the nights in the upper 40s. And, we've been getting sort of that mix already this year. Although it is going to warm up a little bit at the end of the week, but that's okay. I'll take it. The August was relatively comfortable in this part of the woods this year around, so I'm not complaining if we get a couple more hot days in September. Anyway, not only do I love the weather, but college football, pro football, and baseball is winding down, right? And then you have hockey season and basketball season coming up. And we had a great couple of weeks with releases, right? We had Geneva Watch Days, and there was some really good watches. So I was really starving for some new releases and something to talk about, because the summer I felt was like very very slow watch wise. Not for me and my family. I mean, we went away on a trip, and then the kids had camp, and I still worked. But watch wise, I felt like it was pretty dead. And so it did pick up in the last couple of weeks. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've been putting a lot more content out, more news related content. And I feel that that's a way to just like, step up the engagement with you guys and talk about new watches. And it helps me keep on tabs of what's coming out actually. So the videos are really easy for me to turn out. It takes me like maybe 10 or 20 minutes to do, as opposed to a review, which takes a couple of hours to set up. So I'll still do reviews, but I like what I'm doing lately with the news, and I hope you guys enjoy that as well. Hey, I'm wearing the Zin 903 vintage with the Lamagna movement. Just a great watch. I got this like leather vegan leather strap, and I mean, I don't know how they do it, but it smells like leather and it's very, very comfortable. I've been wearing the GP a lot lately, and I wanted to give it a rest, switch it up a little bit, and wear the Zen 903. The collection is getting smaller and smaller again. I only have about 5 watches now in the collection. And, it's because, I'm cyclical. You know, I get watches, I ramp it up, and then I sell. And it's going to be quiet on the purchasing front for a while for me because got a lot of things with the kids going on, and kids cost money, man. Like that's the one surprise, right? Having kids, I didn't realize, man, they cost money, especially when they get older. So hopefully at some point next year I'll make a watch purchase. I'm trying to stay in a more higher luxury range, you know what I mean? And not go for the more affordable pieces that are easy to get, because I feel like that takes me away. As we all know, it takes you away from like your goals if you have goals for certain watches that you're interested in, maybe at a higher price point. And like I never learn, I always make these mistakes, right? But now I'm trying to show some restraint and try to be smarter with those watch purchases. Um, anyway, let's before we get into our topic today, let's jump into chat and see how everybody's doing. Please let me know what you're wearing on wrist. I would appreciate that. Hey, Rick is here. How you doing? Good to see you, Rick. Maison is here, and he is sporting his Blancpain 50 Fathoms. James Duffy, happy hump day, wearing his North Flag tonight. Awesome watch. Greetings, Caliber. How you doing? Good to see you there. Ooh, wearing the Panerai Luna Rosa by Tempo. Love to hear what your thoughts on that, Rick, next time we talk. I think that's a beautiful watch. Um, hey, Mr. Jones. Yeah, been a while. It has been a while. I see you on Instagram. Hey, you're wearing your SWC Arc Field watch today. Great piece there. Hey, Nathaniel, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Caliber. Yeah, I love it too. Hey, Rob, what's up? Hey guys, we're in the Speedy Sandwich night. Good to see you, Rob. Joey B is here. Hey, just a watch. Dave, what's going on? Hey, Bobby Legs, been wearing the Timex Expedition North that I picked up recently. Awesome watch. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us this evening. Hey, Chris from the Watch Lounge. What's up? What's up, Bobby? Wearing the NTH Amphibian Midnight Blue. Looks like um, NTH is winding down. It sounds like I saw Chris's video. Are they killing off the business or whatnot? But looks like Chris has got some of those pieces left to sale on his website, watchgauge.com. Not sponsored. I'm just throwing it out there, throwing a plug out for Chris. Um, Joey B's wearing the North Flag tonight. That's great. Um, and Mr. Time Hill, good to see you. Um, yeah, they're shutting down for good. Thanks for shouting. No problem, Chris. No problem. Okay, so I figure, I have a little topic this evening to talk about, and just have a little fun with things, right? So I was thinking about all the different types of, personalities that are out there, and I googled, what are the major types of personalities, and Google came up with four major ones. Although, look, there were other links saying that with more variety of personalities, and then I saw some links where it took these four and then it combined them and found some middle ground between some of the personalities, and so there was a lot more listed. So, but I just wanted to stick with four, just to keep it really, really simple. And I wanted to see, like, what personalities, right? Like what watches brands match these personalities, and maybe this is a good time for all of us to think about, like, what our personalities are, and like what watch brands are we attracted to, and if it kind of like fits, if it really fits, right? Um, and so you know, um, a lot of us, right, like to express ourselves and our personalities through either like our clothes or our watches. You know what I mean? Like, we all have a style. Like some of us like to more peacock more than others, and so we're gonna analyze these four personalities. I'm gonna define them for you, and then I'm gonna match up some watch brands that that I thought of when I thought of these personalities, right? So the first um, personality is the sanguine. Okay, a sanguine personality is typically characterized by being enthusiastic, social, optimistic, and lively. A watch brand that matches these traits would likely be vibrant, stylish, fun, and yet also versatile and approachable, right? So, this is a fun one, right? A fun, nice one to start. And if you guys, can think of some brands that embody this, please feel free to put it in the chat. Also, if you find yourself, if you believe you're a sanguine personality, let us know. And we'll see if we can match up a brand for you. So, in thinking of this, I thought of a couple of brands, right? And I thought, what's fun, right? Um, and vibrant and enthusiastic and social and optimistic, and how could you go wrong with a Swatch, right? A Swatch as the brand, and I picked the Swatch clearly gent, a new gent watch here, and then it could have been any Swatch, but there's so much fun, right? And vibrant and stylish, right? And so to me, Swatch came to mind. Also, Nomos came to mind, right? Because you have a lot of these different variations. Now, yes, some of the models are a little sterile, right, because of the Bauhaus look. But then you have some of the other models like the Club Campus, right, which is a nice little play on a California dial, and you have so many different colors, right, in there, and other models that almost they've experimented with colors, and I find them very, very fun and stylish and optimistic, right? Um, Chris is saying Richard Mille fits the sanguine personality. He thinks Chopard is sanguine. Yeah, okay, I could see that. Maybe Studio Underdog. Yeah, like fun and optimistic. Nathan, I think you're onto something there. Hey, Mes9, good to see you. Thanks, Steve Timel. Really appreciate it. James, Erwick, and HYT were the first to come to mind. Hey, that's those are great picks, James. Right? Um, some other ones that came to mind, like I thought of what did I think of? It's escaping my mind. But I mean, like, yeah, there's a bunch of other ones that are just like fun pieces, and I think a lot like those Microsoft brands, not Microsoft, micro brands, um, that often try to distinguish themselves. They do something a little more risque and more cheerful and fun. So I thought of a lot of those pieces as well. Joey B throwing in Doxa. Okay. Okay. Um, my picks are not approachable though. Yeah. Well, I mean, like approachable in a sense, maybe in a economic way, if you're talking about. But I think, like, if I saw somebody who was wearing an Urwerk or an HYT, and I wasn't necessarily into watches or watch collecting, I think I would have a lot of questions. I think I would ask that person, "Oh, that's a very interesting piece." I mean, that's easily said than done because I am into watches and whatnot. So maybe that's clouding. Maybe I can't really go into the shoes of the person who's not interested because it's really, because I am interested. But I think those watches are definitely approachable because it definitely has a sense of curiosity there for sure. Um, Baltic is Sanguine. Okay, sure. Zin, yeah, yeah. I mean, Zin has especially with the 556 and whatnot, like some colors and whatnot. Helios a good option. Fair a good option. I'm having a mental block, says Steve. Steve, don't worry about it. I have mental blocks all the time. Uh, so I hear you. It's all good. Okay. Well, we got a good start here with some of these personalities. Let's move to the next one. The choleric personality is characterized by being ambitious, determined, confident, and often taking on leadership roles. A watch brand that matches these traits would be bold, reliable, and exude a sense of power and authority, right? And so, hey, KR Joy, how you doing? Good to see you. And so, of course, there's a couple of brands that immediately, for better or for worse, right, came to mind, and that's Rolex and Omega, and I have here an examples of the Rolex GMT Master 2 and the Omega Speedmaster. I'm not saying that these particular models exude that, although they might. It's a brand, and I just threw in an image of a random model in their collection to demonstrate the point and the brand. Yeah, like when I think of um, like a watch that is bold and reliable, and exude a sense of power, like like an oyster, like I'm sorry, like a Rolex date, right? I mean, that's that's like power and authority, right? And Omega, right? I mean, like just even the association with like James Bond, and that all that exudes like some authority and power and reliability. The watch brands that came to mind, right? I mean, like I thought of Breitling, right? Because of its precision instruments and in association with aviation, you know what I mean, and high performance ethos, right? And then I and value control for excellence, right? And then I thought of Tag Heuer, even right with the sports and automotive themes to it, right? Appealing to maybe like a competitive someone who had a competitive nature, like a driver or something like that, a race car driver, right? um even Panerai, right? Panerai, just like just being like the unique design of the brand, right? And then several and of its models, right? I mean, that's like that has caloric traits, right? That's like pioneering spirit, right? And in determination. Some of those brands, and there's probably others that you guys could probably come up with. Maybe yours. Okay. Tag for sure is James is saying. Um, Kevin is saying, "Good evening from Lakeland, Florida." Good evening, Kevin. Good to see you here. IWC, great pick, Joey. I think that is a very good one. Yeah, G-Shock could fit in this one. Yeah, I can see that. Justin, Dave, from Just a Watch, I can totally see that. I think G-Shock can fit in a couple of these. You know, and look, I mean, I think you can make an argument for a lot of these brands fitting a couple of these personalities, different personalities as well. Patek, hold that thought, Steve. Hold that thought. Okay, moving on to the third, the melancholic. And when I thought of melancholic, I thought of somebody who was like sad and whatnot, but that's not really what the definition they have here as a personality. It's a personality is often thoughtful, detail oriented, and appreciates quality and craftsmanship. Individuals with this type of personality tend to prefer understated elegance and timeless design, and brands with strong heritage and attention to detail. So, see, this is where I thought of Paddock, right? Look, I mean, some of their watches, right, are not necessarily what I would consider understated, right? Excellence, right? But some are for sure. And I thought also here of excuse me. I thought also here of Gégé Lecoultre, right? Just classic um, brand, right? With a reputation of innovation and sophistication, right? And this watch, I think, Gégé Lecoultre, resonates with these types of individuals with these personality traits because they value quiet excellence, right? And artistic design. And you could throw in a Longazon, you can throw in Grand Seiko here. Um, yeah, I love these answers. Yeah, Blancpain, VC, yeah, Mesnite JLC, right. Um, and then you have Moser. Scott saying you don't own a Baltic, you're just holding it for the next generation. That's awesome, hilarious. Yeah, yeah. So JLC really fits the mold here. Paddock, like I said, Along is on. Grand Seiko you could throw in here as well. I would accept that as a viable answer. Look. You can even throw IWC in here, right? Because they're known for their engineering excellence and classic functional designs, right? And so that you have that little understatedness there, and then you have the blend of tradition and innovation that suits and the analytical and thoughtful nature of the melancholic personality. So again, a lot of these brands could bleed into all these types of personalities. Longines, yeah, great pick, Joe. You're firing it away. Great picks here. Um, and finally, let's talk about the phlegmatic personality. And it's characterized as being calm and reliable and easygoing and diplomatic. Individuals with this temperament often prefer comfort, practicality, subtly, subtly favoring brands that reflect a balance, understated, and a versatile style. Now this can fit. I think this one you can like fit in a whole lot here, right? Um, and so look, I thought of Seiko, and I thought of Citizen, fitting these kind of personalities, and Seiko provides like a whole wide range of dependable and high quality watches at various price points, right? With the focus of practicality and subtle excellence with some of their models, and making it ideal for someone who values reliability and simplicity. And Citizen, you got the eco-friendly technology and the practical design, and they're often low maintenance, right, and appealing to laid back and easygoing aspects of this personality. um, Maison is saying, oh, okay, so phlegmatic does not mean having a cold. Yeah. um, let's see here, like what other, I mean, like G-Shock, right? um, For those who value like functionality and resilience, they're practical. They have robust options, right? And their designers are user friendly and durable. So it's aligning with the Phlegmatic's preference for reliability and comfort. Hamilton, classic, versatile designs, in touch with Americana, and Swiss precision, right? And their watches are known for being both dependable and stylish in a modest way, and suiting the diplomatic and composed nature of this personality trait. And another one I thought of as well is, Tissot, right? Classic designs, good value for money, and they offer versatile watches that are both functional and stylish, right? Without being too flashy, and matching the balance and the practical nature of the Phlegmatic. Um, yeah, Zin, Nathan saying, excluding the U1, Mezzine agreeing with Hamilton. Um, is it is a reference to Phlegm, one of the humors. Casio. Where does Breitling fall? Well, I think the way I was thinking of Breitling before, and I thought I had mentioned it, but under like the Choleric personality, right? So because the Choleric personality appreciates, traits that would be bold, reliable, and exude a sense of power and authority, right? And so Breitling, known for its precision chronographs and instruments, right, for aviation. And Breitling, it exudes the confidence and the high performance ethos, aligning it well with the individual, this type of personality who values control and excellence. But again, I mean, that could bleed into Breitling. I could also see Breitling being more of a melancholic personality, even though it is a little bit more flashier, perhaps, than this personality would appreciate. But it's detail oriented, right? Man, it's got the quality and the craftsmanship and timeless design, especially with the Navitimer, right? Um, Apple, the watch for normies, yeah. I mean, like, sure. I mean, the Apple Watch. I mean, we have to consider that, right? I mean, it has a timepiece functionality to it. I mean, it's in the name. It's called the Apple Watch, right? I mean, even though it's not what we would consider or have considered, historically what a watch is, right? With the mechanical movement and whatnot, and even with the quartz, right? I mean, this is something that you plug into a USB port or whatever. I never had an Apple Watch. I assume that's how you charge it, and it's connected to your phone. So you have like some stuff that has some functionality there. Maybe it's not ideal in a sense. Maybe, I wonder. See, I don't consider myself a phlegmatic personality per se. That's not where I gravitate to. So, like, I wonder if somebody who is phlegmatic, what their thoughts on the Apple Watch. Is anybody in the chat considers themselves phlegmatic? And what are your thoughts on Apple Watches? What personalities do you see you guys yourselves as, right? Or do you see yourself as a blend of two? Um, I like to think of myself, right? And I'm always under the illusion that I'm always right. But I'm also delusional about that. So, right. But I think of myself as more like sanguine, and then melancholic, you know. Um, so what would that be? So that'd be a fun watch, right? That is appreciates quality and craftsmanship, right? You could see how you can really, go into the weeds here, and it's so subjective, right? It's so subjective, but and you can back in like whatever your brand is, you can definitely back that into your a personality trait, right? That you wish to, that you identify with. So anyway, I just thought this would be like a fun way to break things up. Yeah, it depends on the day, right? I mean, I know our personalities. Yeah, depends on the day. I just figured this is a fun little exercise that we could have, that kind of could break up the monotony, not monotony of my live streams, right? And we're gonna jump right into that monotony. We're gonna look at new releases, something that I typically do, um, often. And I feel like I'm a little bit more qualified to talk about some of these new releases now that I'm actually like reading all this stuff every day and putting out videos for. All right, so let's jump in, and feel free to to you know keep the conversation going in regards to personalities. Um, love to hear what you guys have to say about that. Okay, so let's share that screen. Go to our favorite new release website, and that is monochrome watches.com. And so this is a hands-on, but that's not a new release. Okay, so looks like Zenith introducing the new Zenith Defy Skyline chronograph boutique edition. I think I probably have made it known that I am not a big fan of this case design, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on here with that dial. A little too busy for me, but it's not terrible. You know what I mean? Like I don't hate it. Um, yeah, I don't hate it per se. I know I'm not sure if this is gonna get a lot of like interest or love from the chat, but because that dial is definitely divisive there for sure. Like, I could see like you either love it or you hate it kind of deal. El Primero caliber 3600 in-house let's talk about this dial because that's the interesting part. Sunray brushed slate gray dial with engraved golden stars. Okay, so those are engraved golden stars. Applied golden indices on the hour and hands. Let's jump right into a closer look at that. What is a good, I guess, yeah, but I can't zoom into that one. Let's see here. Um, do that. Yeah, so those are engraved golden stars. Hmm, interesting. Uh, yeah, the new Seiko Chronos. I'll get into that for sure. The new Seiko Chronos have Navitimer vibes. What what would this personality? What personality would this Zenith be for? Yeah, interesting, right? Let's think about that. Okay, um, is it? Let's analyze it. Is it sanguine? Now, remember that's a typically characterized as being enthusiastic, social, and optimistic, and lively. Watch brand that matches these traits would likely. Let's forget about the brand. Let's this watch. Okay, we'll talk about this particular model. Vibrant, stylish, and fun. I don't know. I don't know. Being ambitious for the caloric, being ambitious, determined, and confident, and often taking a leadership role. The trait should be bold, reliable, and exude a sense of power. Hmm. Not really sure. Melancholic, detail oriented, appreciates quality, craftsmanship, um, elegance, timeless design. Definitely not a timeless design here. Strong heritage. Okay, I mean the brand does have. I think it's gonna. Okay, it's obviously this personality. It's going to be, it's going to have a little bit of characteristics of multiple personalities here. Characterized as being calm, reliable, and easygoing. I wouldn't say that. So I'm saying that it sounds like it's more of a combination of um, sanguine and melancholic. I would say. Um, it makes you want an AP. Zenith is nothing special. Mm, yeah. Um, okay. Let's take a look at the price point here, just real quick. 12,900 Swiss francs. And it's a boutique edition, right? So it's exclusively sold at Zenith physical and online boutiques. Okay, moving on. Um, let's talk Seiko here. Now this is last year the SRQ models, the 47 and 49 came out last year. What there was the white reverse, the white Panda and dial, and then there was a black reverse Panda, much like what we have here. There are some slight differences here. I think the one last year, the black reverse Panda, it was limited, and I think the big difference that I saw um, was that the subdials, it was more silver. I think this is more like white. But really can't tell any other differences here. Maybe in the indices, there's a slight difference in the indices, um, but I really couldn't tell much of a difference. I think these are good looking watches. I like them a lot, and the bracelet is interesting. It's not my favorite, but it's interesting. I think I would have been fine with a regular oyster style type bracelet here, to be honest with you. But I like the simple chronograph look here with the dial, the tachymeter. I think I like the black over the blue, and I liked probably the yeah, no, I think I like the reverse Panda um, more so than the white dial Panda. But the blue's not bad. The blue's not bad. The price point is fair. I mean, like you'll be able to get a discount on these because you were able to get the discount on the other ones after like a month or two. Um, the caliber 8R48 column wheel and vertical clutch mechanism. Um, 45-hour power reserve. Would have liked to seen a higher power reserve, even though that's not the most important issue to me. But I would have liked to seen a higher power reserve on this one, and it's a decent size one, 42 by 50, approaching 15 millimeter case like this. I mean, like again, like that the thickness on that one that doesn't bother me. Um, yeah, I mean, I like it. I like these. Would love to have one of these one day. Um, yeah, I mean, boring, boring side view, but it's okay. The dial looks great. I like the dial. Um, hey, Wilson, what's going on? How you doing? Um, maybe the design is a little safe, but I like them. If you're talking about the Seiko, I agree. It's a little safe, but I like it too. And sometimes safe is okay. How do these compared with the 903? Well, price point, the 903 is going to be about 1,000 more, right? New, if we're talking new 903s, and then the new 903s are approaching four, I believe. You do have a column wheel chronograph with the 903. Um, now the 903 is a little bit of a different design. You got the Navitime-ish timer feel to it, so it's going to be different. You have those loom plots, those indices, right? Those raised indices at the 12 and the 3 and the 6, or yeah, or 12, whatever it is. So that's a cool feature. I like that. Um, 5, like that fine link bracelet they call it that Zen has. And then you can get that on a strap, obviously. So, but the 903 is about $1,500 more, or close to $1,500 more. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like it's interesting, right? It's interesting. It depends on like what you look like. If you like that 903 classic Navitimer look, it's an apples and oranges comparison. I think when if you're just analyzing just the look. If you are looking at the specs, man, the Seiko makes a good argument, especially $1,500 cheaper. It makes a good argument, to go with the Seiko. I'm not saying I would make that. I mean, like I think I would prefer the 903, but like if my budget was a little bit less, I think I'd be happy at the end of the day if I had a choice. If I couldn't afford the 903, but I also like the Seiko, I think I would walk away happy. Um, that's just me, my opinion. Okay. Let's see here. What else has come out? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't want to touch this one. Um, because I really don't know much about this brand, the new RDA Purity Stairway to Heaven HMS. Um, yeah, I mean it looks cool. Is that a sapphire case? Yeah, full sapphire case. Yeah, I mean it's $50,000 watch. Let me just look at the specs here and see what's going on here. Manual winding and skeletonized movement, conceived, developed, manufactured by RDA in collaboration with Swiss movement maker Talos SA, double barrel for 72-hour power reserve. Okay. Open work dial, double barrels on the left side and suspended escape in the right. 40 millimeter, 13 millimeter case, full sapphire crystal. Let's take some. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody know anything about this brand? Because I am not familiar. I mean, it's not for me. Not for me. Um, it was more a rhetorical question. Okay, okay. I know the difference myself, but I thought it would be worth. Okay, yeah, yeah, for sure. No, understood. Um, okay. Let's also take a look at. Let's take a look at this Mont Blanc. I have a love-hate relationship with this like ruby or dark red burgundy type dials. I think in some watches it looks great, like Maison, like your um, Moser. Um, Not crazy about it here. I like Montblanc. I know they're a pen company, but they've been making watches forever though too. And they do make some interesting pieces. I just don't. I can never see myself getting a Montblanc. Um, this is the Montblanc 1858 Geosphere chronograph, O oxygen or zero oxygen, fitting homage to celebrate Reinhold Messner's 80th birthday, the famous alpinist who conquered Everest without an oxygen tank, zero oxygen. Okay, yeah, yeah. Uh, Interesting, interesting. Why red though? I'm sure they explain it. Uh, Italian alpinist is one of the years its first person celebrates the new crackled red dials inspired by Antarctica's red glaciers and the zero. You're celebrating a guy who climbed Mount Everest um, by sh- having a dial that resembles the Antarctica's red glaciers. That, unless I'm missing something, that doesn't make any sense to me. Um, Unless he's been to Antarctica and walked amongst the red glaciers. I'm sure there's probably something here that's going to explain it, but let's go down to the specs and see what this is all about. 44, so it's a big watch. 17, yeah, it's a big watch. Titanium case, zero oxygen environment, bidirectional rotating stainless steel bezel with black ceramics insert. It's got the caliber MB2927 chronograph, a Salida SW500 base, 46-hour power reserve. Yeah, no, almost 10,000 euros. Not for me. Are the subdials for the multiple time zones at a 12 and 6? Let's see if I can get a. Looks like, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, because you have the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. Yeah, that's what that looks like, James. Too busy. Yeah, agreed. So it does act like a world time. Yeah. Okie dokie. moving on. Let's see here else in the news. I'll cover a couple more and then we'll call it an evening. The King Seikos, back to basics with the Finnish watchmaker with Sarpaneva, Neva, Supermoon. Yeah, I mean this is a cool piece. I mean, is this new? Back to basics. A tribute to the original Corona K3, a classic of Stepan's design that's been subtly updated. Okay, so just a slight variation of his original design there for the K3. It's here. These were, I mean, look, this doesn't move the needle for me, King Seiko. Again, my favorite one over here is this red dial. The other dials, I know it's like it's called Edo design. The Edo period, Japan's Edo period, pays tribute to the art there. Not really crazy about that design there. And here's the purple one. This is more of like a flower. I mean, it's cool, but it's just not for me. I like the red. The red here. I see the flowers in there. It's a little more subtle with the red. But I don't know. I'm not really crazy about the case. I'm not crazy about the bracelet combination with this watch. I feel like it's and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's period accurate. 'Cause I mean, I feel like the King Seiko was, you know, um, prior to Grand Seiko coming in and really taking the luxury spot. Um, um, for Seiko, like it's Seiko's Lexus with Grand Seiko, right? To Toyota to Lexus. I don't know if this was like period correct for when King Seiko, was in regular production, the braces like that. I don't know. I'm not a historian of Seiko or King Seiko, but I don't know. I just don't like that bracelet with that. Um, Angry Moon, yeah. The Fume red dot helps them out, takes the edge off of a very bold color. Yeah, that's a good assessment, Maison. Um, like these engraved dials from Longines for sure. Um, let's let's end up here with this Ralph Polo Sport collection. I like this watch. I like it. This is definitely Sanguine. This is definitely Sanguine for sure. This fits that personality. Let me get the definition here. Typically characterized by being enthusiastic, social, optimistic, and lively, vibrant, stylish, and fun. I feel like this is just a fun combination of colors. You got the green, you got the orange, you got the blue, you got the yellow here in the dial with the blue. Just a fun looking piece. Um, I think it's listed for like $1,600. If it was 700, $800, I'd be like, that's interesting. Probably still wouldn't buy it, but man, look at that case profile. I mean, it's simple, but it works. It's thin. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure about the quality of that strap, but I mean, like, it looks like it could be a decent strap. It's got a Solita 200, okay? That's not my favorite movement in the world. But whatever, if I can go to if I can find this watch at a Ralph, a Polo outlet store, in about a year or two, and it's like 50% off, I'd consider buying it. I don't know. I kind of like it. I may be the only one. I may be the only one. Wait a second. That King Seiko's really got my blood going. Really? Until I saw the price. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like what, like $3,400 or something like that. Uh, Thoughts on the new TGV Handhard Preventor HD 12? So I did. Um, I did do a news video on it where last week where I talked about it amongst other brands other watches that came out that day. And overall, um, the way the article spoke about the watch is like it's like Hanhart's everyday watch, and I am okay with that, with the exception that uh, I don't think the Cathedral Hands is an everyday watch kind of look. At least not for me. Um, I am not a huge fan of Cathedral Hands. However, there are some exceptions, and Hanhart, so some of the chronos that have the Cathedral Hands, I do like. I even liked the Cathedral Hands on those Zenith, huge pilot watches. I like the way they look on them too. But overall, I'm not a fan, and overall, like I would have to say that on a daily wear, that would get to me. I couldn't do it. Other than that, the specs line up. They line up for it to be a daily wear, right? It seems to be a very comfortable watch, a watch that fits a lot of wrist sizes. I love the brand. I love German watches, as most of you guys know, and I really like Hanhart a lot, and I root for them. I want, I root for every release that comes out for Hanhart. Uh, Under the guise as this is an everyday watch, I don't think it works for me. Other than that, it's a fine watch. It's a fine watch. Joey B would pay $800 for that polo watch. I think I would too, man. I think it's fun. It's fun. Well, speaking of fun, this was a lot of fun. And I enjoyed talking personalities and trying to match them with watches with you guys. I really appreciate you guys giving me feedback on that and being and participating in the conversation. Right, that's the best part. Having this time to converse with you and talk to you. This is what makes my involvement in watches and watch collecting the payoff. Right. Yes, I get to wear great watches, but I also get to hang out with great people on a Wednesday night. Anyway, guys, have a great and rest of your week, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Have a good night. Take care.